Hello dear students, welcome to my channel Bhavani Commerce Academy. In the last video, we discussed budget and budgetary control in the CCMA subject. Under that, we have two methods, that is capacity basis flexible budget, units basis flexible budget. We discussed in the last video capacity basis flexible budget. And one more method is units basis flexible budget. Now we are discussing and now we are preparing units basis flexible budget. Let's see. With the following data for a 60% activity, prepare a budget for production at 80% and 100% capacity. Production at 60% activity, 600 units. So at 60% activity level, here given 600 units. But 80% and 100% activity level, there is no number of units. We need to find out by using this 600 units. Okay. And material, labor, direct expenses, cost per unit given, factory overheads, administration expenses, here given 40,000. From this 40,000, 40% fixed here given. So indirectly, remaining 60% is variable. In the administration expenses also, from this 30,000, 60% fixed means remaining 40% variable. Just we need to understand by using this information. Okay. And now we need to prepare flexible budget. In the flexible budget, this is the format. So here given capacity is 60%. At 60% capacity, we have 600 units. So here given number of units, so that it is units basis flexible budget. Second method. Okay. And at 80% level, there is no number of units, as well as 100% level also there is no number of units. So for that, we need to do the working notes. See, in the working notes, production at 60% level, 600 units. So this 600 units are given in the problem itself. Production at 80% level, there is no number of units. We need to find out with the help of 600 units. So for 60% capacity, 600 units are there. So find out for 80% level. So cross multiplication, 600 into 80 divided by 60, you will get 800 units. At what level? 80% level. Production at 100% level, how much? At 60%, given capacity is 60%. At 60% level, 600 units are given. At 100% level, how much? Cross multiplication, 600 into 100 divided by 60, you'll get 1000 units. Okay, so this information you need to post in the flexible budget. At 80% level, how many units are there? 800 units. At 100% level, 1000 units. Okay, so every capacity having two columns. One is cost per unit column, other one is amount column. So every capacity we have two columns. Under particulars column, just write down all the details like that. See here, material, labor, direct expenses, here given cost per unit. Okay, just write down those details under 60% level, because given capacity is 60% level. So material, labor, direct expenses, only given cost per unit, that is 100, 40 and 10. Take the total, that is prime cost. Okay, and after that, factory overheads 40% fixed out of 40,000. So remaining 60% variable. So you need to segregate factory overheads into fixed and variable. So here factory overheads fixed, variable. So 40% fixed, remaining 60% variable. So how to calculate this? See here, factory overheads 40% fixed. So 40,000 into 40%, you will get 16,000. 40,000 into 60%, 24,000. That is variable cost. So these two values we need to post in the flexible budget. So fixed 16,000, variable 24,000. Here given only amount, not cost per unit. Okay. In the same way, administration expenses also we need to write. 30,000 into 40%, that is 16,000. That is variable administration overheads. These two values post into flexible budget. So under flexible budget, administration expenses 60%, fixed that is 18,000, remaining 40% variable that is 12,000. Okay. So these are the details given in the problem itself. So remaining these columns you need to fill by using important note. What is the important note here? Let's see, very important while doing units basis flexible budget. So this is the note. So if it is variable overhead, cost per unit will not change. Amount will change according to the capacity. Fixed overheads, cost per unit will change. Amount will not change according to the capacity. So capacity increase aina decrease aina ఫిక్స్డ్ అమౌంట్ అనేది చేంజ్ అవ్వదు. కాస్ట్ పర్ యూనిట్ చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. వేరియబుల్ ఓవర్ హెడ్స్ అయితే కాస్ట్ పర్ యూనిట్ చేంజ్ అవ్వదు. అమౌంట్ విల్ బి చేంజ్. ఓకే. సో దిస్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ యూ నీడ్ టు రిమెంబర్ వైల్ ప్రిపేరింగ్ యూనిట్స్ బేసిస్ ఫ్లెక్సిబుల్ బడ్జెట్. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టేక్ ఎ స్క్రీన్ షాట్. Okay. So by using that note, we need to fill these columns. Okay. So material, labor, direct expenses are the variable overheads. So if it is variable overheads, what we will do? Cost per unit will not change. Here given cost per unit. So if any level of capacity, cost per unit will not change. So 60% or 80% or 100% capacity, cost per unit will be same. It will not change. So 100, here also 100. Labor 40, here also 40. 10. And prime cost also 150. Okay. And coming to factory overheads, here under factory overheads, 40% fixed, 60% variable amount is there. So if it is fixed, cost per unit changes, amount will not change. Okay. Fixed amount will not change. ఏది చేంజ్ అవ్వదో ఫస్ట్ దాన్ని బేస్ చేసుకొని వాల్యూస్ని నోట్ చేసుకోండి. అప్పుడు మీకు ఇది ఈజీ అవుతుంది. సో ఇన్ ద వేరియబుల్ ఓవర్ హెడ్స్ కాస్ట్ పర్ యూనిట్ విల్ నాట్ చేంజ్. సో యూజ్ దిస్ ఫస్ట్. ఇన్ ద ఫిక్స్డ్ ఓవర్ హెడ్స్ అమౌంట్ విల్ నాట్ చేంజ్. సో యూజ్ దిస్ ఫస్ట్. సో ఇట్ ఈజీ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్. సో ఫిక్స్డ్ ఓవర్ హెడ్స్ అమౌంట్ విల్ నాట్ చేంజ్. సో ఆల్రెడీ హియర్ అవైలబుల్ 16,000 అమౌంట్. సో ఎట్ ఎనీ లెవెల్ ఆఫ్ కెపాసిటీ దట్ షుడ్ బి 16,000 ఓన్లీ. Okay. At variable amount will change, cost per unit will not change. So but in the fixed overheads amount is available, cost per unit is not available. So find out the cost per unit because ఏదైతే చేంజ్ అవ్వదో అది తెలిస్తే మనకి ఈజీ అవుతుంది. సో how to calculate cost per unit here? Total amount divided by number of units will get cost per unit. That means 24,000 divided by 600. 40. So variable cost per unit is 40. So if you know the cost per unit of variable overheads, that will be same for all levels. So if it is 80% also 40, 100% also 40. Okay. And coming to administrative expenses, under that fixed amount is there and variable amount is there. So already we know if it is fixed, that will be same for all levels. So 18,000, 18,000. Okay, variable amount will be changed, but cost per unit will not change. First find out the cost per unit. How to find out? 12,000 divided by 600 units. 12,000 divided by 600 units. 20. So if you know the cost per unit of variable overheads, that will be same for all levels. Okay. So now it is easy to calculate. How to calculate these columns? See, here number of units are there, 600 units, and cost per unit also we know. So just multiply those values, will get amount. 600 into 100 will get 60,000. Okay. And 600 into 40. 24,000. 600 into 10. 6,000. What is the total here? 90,000. In the same way, find out for 800 units level also. 800 into 100, 80,000. 800 into 40, 800 into 40, 32,000. 800 into 10, 8,000. Total 1,20,000. Find out for 1000 units level. 1000 into 100, 1 lakh. 1000 into 40, 40,000. 1000 into 10, 10,000. Total 1,50,000. Okay. And coming to factory overheads. Here missing value is cost per unit of fixed overheads. If cost per unit is missing, what we should do? Amount divided by number of units. So 16,000 divided by 600. 16,000 divided by 600. 26.67. Okay. Likewise, here also 16,000 divided by 800 because number of units will change according to the capacity. Okay. 16,000 divided by 800. 20. Next, 16,000 divided by 1000. 16. Okay. If cost per unit is missing, deviation is applicable. If amount is missing, multiplication is applicable. Okay. Remember this. So here also cost per unit is missing. 18,000 divided by 600. 18,000 divided by 600. 30. Next. 18,000 divided by 800. 22.5. Next. 18,000 divided by 1000. 18. Okay. And here missing amount. If the amount is missing, multiplication is applicable. So 40 into 800. 40 into 800. 32,000. Okay. And here also amount is missing. 40 into 1000. 40,000. Okay. And two more values are left. So here also amount is missing. 20 into 800. 16,000. Next 1000. 20 into 1000. 20,000. Okay. So all the values are completed. Now take the total. What is the total of work cost? Already we know the prime cost 90,000. 90,000 plus 16,000 plus 24,000. What is the total here? 1,30,000. Okay. After getting 1,30,000, add 18,000 and 12,000, we'll get 1,60,000. So what is this 1,60,000? Total cost. Okay. In the same way, find out for the total cost per unit also. So what is the total here? 150 plus 26.67 plus 40. 216.67 plus 30 and 20. 266.67. Okay. In the same way, find out this also. What is the total here? 150 plus 20 plus 40. 210. 210 plus 22.5 plus 20. 252.5. And 1,20,000 plus 16,000 plus 32,000. 1,68,000. Here what is the total? 2,02,000. Okay. And after that, what is the total here? 206, and this total is 244, and this total 2,06,000. 2,06,000 plus these two values, 2,44,000. Okay, so what is this total cost? If you like my videos, share my videos to your friends and subscribe my channel. Along with these two methods in budget and budgetary control, you need to prepare theory important questions also. I have given in the shorts. Once you check that, you will get 16 marks from this chapter. Thank you.